ask you guys, how do you feel about Nicki Minaj? Are you Nicki fans? Are you pulling up in the Sri Lanka? What? I used to be a Nicki Minaj, like not a stan, but a big Nicki Minaj fan back in the day when I was in high school. So she dropped when I was in like the 8th grade. And I loved seeing a woman in rap and like a woman who was like girly, right? Because we did have women in rap, but they were very tomboyish, like in my era, right? Like the Missy Elliott era. And I like Missy, but she was very tomboyish. And I was so excited to see a girly girl and whatnot. And, so I loved her music. I loved like, I still know the lyrics to like half her songs, right? But just seeing what she's become lately, like has made me so sad. Who she's married and who she has defended, right? So she's married to Kenneth, and I forgot his last name, but her husband, like he has a very big rap sheet. He's been arrested, like he's got like 12 mugshots, you guys, various charges, including red rum, violent charges, sexual charges, child charges, that put him on the ex-offender registry and everything. Like Nicki Minaj is so talented. Nicki Minaj is so beautiful. Like her face card is sickening. Like that is a truly beautiful woman. So to see her end up with this has just been really disturbing to me, to say the least. And then to see her defend this and to procreate with this and then to defend her brother. And I remember that her creepy brother was doing to that little girl. Like she fell out of favor with me, right? I don't support her anymore after all of this stuff, right? But then now, on top of just like supporting terrible men, she's also gone on to just attacking women left and right in the industry. When she first came out, it was just her versus Lil Kim, right? Who bit whose style, blah, blah. And it got kind of passed off as if Lil Kim was just bitter. But I haven't heard Lil Kim beefing with any other women in rap. But I swear every other day, Nicki Minaj is beefing with a different woman in the rap game, right? Or even in Hollywood in general. And it is so tired. So let's get into some of what she was, chirping about last night. Okay. So Nicki, she was having some kind of Twitter meltdown. I don't know what about, you guys, honestly. Like it's always something. Apparently she was calling out TDE Punch, who used to be SZA's manager. And she interpreted a text that SZA had posted after getting off the stage at her concert as a subtweet against her. So SZA had posted, "Mercury retrograde, don't take the bait, LOL, silly goose." And then Nicki Minaj quoted the tweet and said, "Go draw your freckles back on, Buki. Hashtag justice for Demore. Hashtag deposition Perez. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Sounding like an effing dead dog." And then she just kept on going and going and going. And it just got worse and worse and worse. Okay. So she also said, like, do you know the level of hate for yourself you had to have to be this much of a see you next Tuesday for no reason to the women you later worked with? Now want to act like you're an MFing tarot card? BITCH quit. What an odd little weirdo. So this is in reference to some old tweets of SZA's where she would criticize the singing ability of Rihanna, Ciara, etc. Right? And somebody dug it up for Nicki, and Nicki just went in on SZA with it. Right? She goes, biatch, laughing, right? Girl, hit that auto-tune button, Miss Meek and mild freckles. And it's always a one-sided beef with Nicki. Like she was very similar with Meg. Meg, she clapped back in the booth and kept to moving. But then you kept having Nicki Minaj like ranting to herself about like bullet fragments, this, that, and the other. And it's just weird. It's too much. And for her to be calling any other woman in the industry hateful or bitter or whatever is absolutely insane, considering all she does is attack the other women, right? Publicly on Twitter all day, every day. She also says B used to be on Twitter dissing Rihanna, Ciara, etc. But when it was time to suck DICK and get opportunities from them, she drew them freckles on and got to sucking, right? Allegedly. Like, biatch, stop being jealous of women who you seriously would kill to be up their booty holes. These men putting batteries in y'all backs and y'all stupid enough to still keep it going, not peeping that it's not going to end well for them or you. Buzz off, Bumbleina. Like she just kept going on and on. SZA had one tweet, you guys, and then she did follow it up with another tweet like, "Sis, I wasn't even talking to you, like leave me out of it," essentially. But Nicki just kept on going and go, "Look at this, you guys, it's too long. Do I even want to read this thing? I don't think so," right? Like just it goes on and on with this woman. And I'm wondering, like, what's been triggering it? Like, she wasn't like this before. Like, she seemed to be a very happy person before. I don't know. Like, to me, it kind of seems like ever since she got married to that man and, she got clowned so hard for even looking twice at him, let alone marrying him, let alone having a kid with him, she's just been incredibly bitter and blaming it on other things, right? So even before she started dragging SZA, she was dragging Jay-Z for a very long time, low-key dragging Beyonce as well at the same time. Like, it's always something with her, right? And this was just days before this. So she called SZA fat, chubby, and skinny at the same time, right? And she just kept going on these fake freckles and whatnot. But what does SZA's weight have to do with anything? What does SZA's fake freckles have to, like, what are we fighting about, right? Like, Nicki was supposed to be this A-list rapper. Like, she was just supposed to be like higher than what she is now. I don't understand it. Why is she going down this road, this direction? Where's all this anger and hostility coming from? How is she supposed to have longevity in the industry if she is falling out with everybody, right? So she's falling out with Beyonce. She's falling out with Jay-Z, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. Now it's SZA as well. She's falling out with so many people, and it's typically women, by the way, right? So what's going to happen moving forward for Nicki and her career? I'm very, very curious, right? Like, she was a star, like the first really big female rapper out there. Like, she could have had so many incredible businesses and whatnot, and just this is the direction that she's decided to go down. And I find this to be very, very sad, honestly. But I digress. Let me pop into the comment section or the live chat and see what y'all have to say, okay? So we've got Ronnie, who says, I am not a Nicki fan because she has no respect for herself. I can't stand behind her. And I agree, and I used to love her and all of her music so much, but she's just left a really bad taste in my mouth lately. Len says, no, she's a miserable person. Remember, she was paying for her PP brother's lawyer bill. Exactly. Like, that's when she lost me officially. I accidentally saw like a little bit of what her brother was convicted of doing. And wow, that stuff was disturbing. Good morning, Gala. Nice to see you, boo. Valerie says, Nicki, you have kids. What kind of example are you setting for your kids? Exactly. But here's the thing. She's got kids with somebody with 12 mugshots. She's got kids with somebody who's on the ex-offender registry. She's got kids with somebody who's been accused of like red rum. Like, even just choosing that person to be the father of your children is already setting a terrible example, right? And that's like the sad part too. I don't get it. She's rich. She's beautiful. She had it all going for her. Why? Did just says, I'm an R&B girly, so I don't care for rap in general. However, Nicki is going out sad, real sad. I just never, ever, ever would have imagined this for her at all. Valerie says, she's like, family is family. Well, wrong is wrong. Exactly. Listen, I would not support, I have two brothers. I would not support them at all if they, God forbid, were getting involved in this sort of thing. Absolutely freaking not. Like, hell no. Good morning, Melissa. Nice to see you. Len says, SZA stays out of drama. People are dragging Nicki on her own Insta. And you know what? That's what she needs. She needs for people to clap back. She needs for people to drag her because she gets away with this for far too long. It's too much. Bree says, Nicki owned the 2010s and she was so fun, but her insecurities seem to have her loudly hating other women. That plus her husband and company she keeps is almost Kanye level legacy ruining, period. And I'm wondering, why is she so insecure? To me, and this is how I always feel about, you know what? Because talking about this, like, why is she insecure? I think she's so beautiful, but it's reminding me, I forgot to watch The Valley last night. I got to watch that to recap that for y'all tomorrow. Sorry about that. Especially you, East Awesome. I know East Awesome's going to get on me. But yeah, like, it's always the people that you think are like the most beautiful, the most successful, like that have it made, that are the most insecure, right? Because Nicki, she's very clearly insecure, but from the outside looking in, like, she had the world at her fingertips, right? Same with Jason from The Valley, like my boo. Like, I think he's so gorgeous. He's got like this great career. He's got this seemingly great everything, right? But he's so insecure and it's so sad. Kikar says, with Nicki, you really have to separate the art from the artist. Exactly. But it's so hard. It's so hard. And I keep trying to tell myself, but it's so hard when people are just so bad, Gwen says, Nicki talks a lot of ish for someone married to, period. It's such an easy drag. Like, if I were her and I married that, I would delete all of my social media, you guys. You would not catch me because it would be just too easy for people to clap back at me, right? Like, that's crazy. She is just way too bold with everything that she's got going on, like, in her personal life, right? And her brother too, like, damn, but like, Jeez. A star. I've been over Nicki for a while now. I hate to say it. Same here. And I really, really hate it because I liked her. I liked Nicki. I loved her music. I was so excited when she came out. Trin Tran says, hey, Trin Tran. Good morning. Nice to see you, boo. Ray says she can't be that different from her husband or her brother. She's so supportive. Just the unfortunate truth. And you know what? I completely agree with you, unfortunately. And this is what I was saying too on Campire's channel. It's kind of like Candy, right? Phaedra made those allegations against Candy. She had Portia run them on the show and everything. And then Candy denied it. However, who's her best friend? Tiny. What are the rumors about T.I. and Tiny? That they do that stuff, the freak off stuff, right? They've been sued for allegedly doing freak off activities with unwilling participants. And then what was she liking on Instagram? She was celebrating that Diddy was found not guilty of trafficking and whatnot. So it's like, oh, you support this stuff, or people who will allegedly engage in this stuff. What are you really up to? And we know you're freaked out. What are you really up to? Just saying, right? And it's too much. She's going to run out of collaborators. And you know what? I don't even know. Does Kanye even have any friends anymore, Raven? I have no freaking clue. I heard that he's been trying to like rent out or try to get bookings here in Europe for like stadiums and whatnot, but it's not working. I also heard that Australia has completely banned him as well. This is another person who's completely ruined their legacy, right? Mrs. Y says, SZA thicker than a Snickers bar. I love her whole thing, and she isn't worried about Nicki's stupid, rugged up self. Exactly. You know, SZA seems like, listen, I do think SZA's a pathological liar. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Pun intended. I think she's strange. Like, mentally speaking, I think she's off, right? With all the strange lies. Her and Jamila Jamil, they kind of creep me out that way. However, I don't really see her beefing with people. Like, she seems to mind her own business outside of like her lies and whatnot. And that's all I care about, that she doesn't hurt people. She just sings her music and lives her best life. That's it, right? So Nicki just being the dark cloud that she is just so disappointing. And I'm happy that SZA only gave it a tweet or two and let Nicki, write these full-blown essays to herself. Look at all this, you guys. This is somebody that's supposed to be rich, happy with her creepy husband, criminal husband, and with her child and everything. And this is what she's spending all day, every day doing. And she was doing this to Jay-Z and Beyonce just this past weekend, y'all. Like, that's all she does. Like, it's so weird. Nicki, please get help, girl. Like, we're begging at this point.